Heyo! I'm back. I'm John. I'm going to open some stuff, and this time we managed to get our hands on another one of the Warhammer 40k commander decks, which is way more difficult than I expected because these things are selling out all over the place. My local game shop only had this. They were out of the sets. And I'm going to head around town later today and see if I can pick up the other two, because there are two more that I have yet to get my paws on. So right now, let's crack this bad boy open. This is the Forces of Chaos. Again, I don't know anything about Warhammer lore. I know so little that I almost called it World of Warcraft lore right now, and I'm pretty sure that would have gotten me, well, if it would have gotten me hate mail, then that would have at least been engagement. So we'll take it. That goes to the recycling. Again, with this little shiny token things, deck box, which I will use at least for a little while to hold this together until I decide what we're doing with it. And then this pile of recyclable material, life counter, this pile of garbage, and now 100 cards, 2 foils, 1 thick boy foil, which will be this Abaddon the Despoiler. This is the face commander. 2 and Grixis, so 2 and a blue and a black and a red for a legendary creature, Astartes warrior. He's a 5/5 with trample, and he has Mark of Chaos Ascendant. During your turn, spells you cast from your hand with mana value X or less have Cascade, where X is the total amount of life your opponents have lost this turn. So the more you smack people, the cheaper your shit is, or the more stuff you have that cascades. And Cascade's fun. It's a chaotic mechanic, so it fits well with a chaos deck. And this promotes an aggressive strategy because you gotta smack people. If I were looking at this in a vacuum, I would be looking for things that do incremental and permanent or recurring damage. So, for example, Shieldred, the new Shieldred, the Apocalypse, would go very well in this deck because, no, actually it wouldn't, because it tracks how much, well, if you can find a way to make your opponents draw cards on your turn, then they lose life, and then your stuff, you get Cascade on stuff. The easiest thing, obviously, is going to be ping your opponents through combat damage, but there's got to be a way, I don't know, you could play some Tim stuff to ping your opponents. Let's see what they did with it, and then we'll talk about what I might want to do with it. Second face commander is Be'lakor, the Dark Master. It is a little more expensive. It's 3 and a Grixis for a 6/5 legendary demon noble with flying. It has Prince of Chaos. When it enters the battlefield, you draw X cards and you lose X life, where X is the number of demons you control. All right, demon tribal commander. I like that. Lord of Torment. Its second ability, whenever another demon enters the battlefield under your control, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. Okay, so I definitely would like to build Demon Tribal with this, and that tracks, because ever since this has been spoiled, I've been seeing people talking about, ooh, Demon Tribal, and I hadn't read enough of the spoilers to know what the hell was going on. So that's what the hell was going on. All right. Heralds of Zinch. 4 and a blue for a 3/3 demon with flying and Cascade. This may go straight into Volo, because I don't have a demon in Volo, and Cascade is hilarious. Nurgle's Rot. That sounds gross. I don't even know what Nurgle is. 1 black for an enchantment aura. Enchant creature an opponent controls. When enchanted creature dies, return Nurgle's Rot to its owner's hand, and you create a 1/3 black demon creature token called Plague Bearer of Nurgle. That's pretty dope, actually, especially if you are putting it on. There's so many creatures in Commander that are designed to die. Cast it on your opponent's Solemn Simulacrum. Well, they're going to want to kill it. You're going to get a benefit. Cast it on your opponent's Sakura Tribe Elder or Veteran Explorer. Not that very many people play Veteran Explorer. But you get my drift. Play it on something that's designed to die. And then reap benefit. Blood Crusher of Khorne. 3 and a red for a 3/3 Demon Knight with Trample. And it says other creatures you control have Trample. I mean, this is just a great ability stapled onto a card with reasonable stats. Yeah, this is fine. It can go into a lot of decks. Chaos Terminator Lord. 3 and a red for a 3/3 Astartes Warrior. Lord of Chaos. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gains double strike until end of turn. All right. Again, just a solid red card. Herald of Slaanesh. 2 and a red for a 2/2 demon with Locus of Slaanesh. Demon spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. Other demons you control have haste. Yeah, demon tribal. Noise Marine. That seems redundant because most Marines that I've met are by default noisy. But anyway, it is 4 and a red for a 3/2 Astartes Warrior with Cascade, and it has Sonic Blaster. When it enters the battlefield, it deals damage equal to the number of spells you've cast this turn to any target. Oh, that's kind of cool. Finisher in a Storm deck, maybe? Also, it has Cascade, so it's automatically going to deal... It's at worst going to deal 2, assuming you cast the thing off Cascade. Seeker of Slaanesh. 3 and a red for a 3/3 demon with haste, and each opponent must attack with at least 1 creature each combat if able. Yeah, this feels like it's just going to make games go more quickly, and I got no problem with that. The Lost and the Damned. 1 blue-red for an enchantment. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control from anywhere other than your hand, or you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, create a 3/3 red spawn creature token. Okay, couple of things here. 1, fine. The text is fine. It's a good card. But 1, Flavor Fail, Spawn's costume was red and black, not red and blue. So it should be making a 3/3 red and black Spawn creature token, but then they might have to pay Todd McFarlane. And then, boy, I wish this was a red and a black instead of a red and a blue, because then it would go straight into Prosper. And then it would be stupid broken, and the whole deck would probably cost $150, and this would have to be a mythic. Bile Blight. Black for an instant. Target creature and all other creatures with the same name as that creature get -3/-3 until end of turn. Kind of medium for Commander unless you're facing a bunch of token decks. If your meta has a bunch of people who play tokens, like me, I play tokens, so don't do this to me. This is great against token decks. This would wreck face against my Jenny Faye or my Sithis decks. So please don't play these cards. Bituminous Blast. Reprint. 3 black-red for an instant with Cascade. Deals 4 damage. Assault Suit. 4 generic for an artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2, has haste, can't attack you or planeswalkers you control, and can't be sacrificed. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you may have that player gain control of equipped creature until end of turn. If you do, untap it. Equip 3. Okay, it's fine. I'm a little... I wonder a little bit why it didn't just say is goated, but this feels like it may also be a reprint. So if it's a reprint, it wouldn't have the goated text on the template. Sol Ring, prettier art. I like this art better than I do the one from the Mono Black deck. Talisman of Creativity. That's cool art, I guess. I don't love it, but it's fine. Talisman of Dominance. That art is very dark and it's very hard to see. It's fine, I suppose. Also, Talisman of Dominance needed a reprint. Talisman of Indulgence. This is Wizards' way of saying that talismans are better than signets. And they are. Yeah, this is fine. It looks more like a vault door of Indulgence than a talisman, but sure, whatever. Worn Power Stone. It's a 3-mana mana rock. Enters tapped. Gives you 2 generic. It's fine, but I don't like it in a 3-color deck. I want things that are going to give me mana. So I might swap that out for the scepter thingy that was in the mono black deck. Baron Moor, Crumbling Necropolis, Storage Land. Ooh, that's a really neat art on Temple of the False God. It's one of the few that actually looks like a temple. No, that's cool. Ooh, that's good Brainstorm art too. Obviously, Brainstorm reprint, Dark Ritual reprint. Again, don't love something that gives you triple black in a 3-color deck. Deny Reality. This is another reprint. 3 black-blue for a sorcery with Cascade. Return target permanent to its owner's hand. Commander Sphere. I like that. I like that art. Wayfarer's Bauble again. Command Tower again. Dismal Backwater. Evolving Wilds. Lord of Change. 6 and a blue for a 6/6 demon with flying and ward 3. Wow, this thing is a house. Oh my god, and when Lord of Change enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards. So this is better than the other thing that I thought would go straight into Volo in the demon slot. But I don't know if I can handle another 7-drop in that deck. I'll have to take a look. Blight Grenade. This card's pretty great. 4 and a black, destroy target creature. All creatures get -3/-3 until end of turn. The problem with some of these neg sweepers is that it usually doesn't hit the biggest threat on the board. This will. You poof their biggest threat, and then all of the smaller threats go away as well. Admittedly, it also kills your crap. So you have a bunch of things with 4 toughness out. Your crap lives, their crap doesn't. Great Unclean One. Yeah, well, it's Saturday, and I'll take a shower later. Oh, wait, that's not talking about me. That art is disgusting. 4 and a black for a 4/5 demon with reverberating summons. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses 2 life. Then, for each opponent who has less life than you, create a 1/3 black demon creature token named Plague Bearer of Nurgle. This card's gross. Mandate of Abaddon. 3 and a black for a sorcery. Choose target creature you control. Destroy all creatures with power less than that creature's power. This is stout in a demon tribal deck because demons typically are big and beefy. So you choose something that you've got with 6 power and then everything smaller dies. Puts you in a pretty good place. Mortarion, Daemon Primarch. 5 and a black for a 5/6 legendary Demon Primarch. Flying. Primarch of the Death Guard. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay X. If you do, create X 2/2 black Astartes warrior creature tokens with menace. X can't be greater than the amount of life you lost this turn. Ooh, sorry. This is such a black card. You're paying life as a resource. You're making 2/2 zombies, essentially. I'm guessing when they retemplate this to be something with magic names, it'll just make zombies, which is fine. Yeah, this is solid. Nurgle's Conscription. 4 and a black for an instant, put target creature card from an opponent's graveyard onto the battlefield tapped under your control, then exile that player's graveyard. This card is fantastic. I loves it, my precious. Because it gets, especially with how big graveyard decks are, and especially with this in a commander set that has a graveyard deck in it. Because this would be really good against the Necron deck. Because it's wanting to do self-mill and wanting to reanimate stuff and has a ton of unearth. Yeah, this card's great against that deck. It's great to be in this set, and I think it's really good just as a rule. Plague Drone, 3 and a black for a 3/3 demon with flying, and it has Rotfly. If an opponent would gain life, that player loses that much life instead. Again, love it. Such a black effect. And it's stapled onto a decent body, which makes it better than the other. I think there's an enchantment that does this same thing. And that card's fine, but it doesn't really see play because it's only one thing. This, even if your opponents don't have life gain, you can still smack them. Pox Walkers. 2 and a black for a 3/1 zombie with Death Touch and Curse of the Walking Pox. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, return Pox Walkers from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. This might make it into my Will Help deck just because of the whole thing with Gravecrawler and Rooftop Storm, and I cast a few things from the yard with that. Be good in any deck that has a bunch of unearth things too. Yeah, maybe. Unearth's an activated ability. It's not a cast. Never mind. Flashback. Whatever. Sloppity Bile Piper. I love that name. It's so stupid. I love it. 3 and a black for a 3/3 demon with Jolly Gut Pipes. What the living shit. 2 generic and tap it to sack and sack a creature. The next creature spell you cast this turn has Cascade. Okay, cool. Yeah, if you don't have Cascade enabled, if you can't make your opponents lose life, this can enable Cascade. You just sack a token or something. Talisman of Nurgle. 2 and a black for a 2/3 creature. Oh, Tallyman, not Talisman. Talisman of Nurgle. 2 and a black for a 2/3 Astartes Warrior with lifelink and the 7-fold chant. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, you draw a card and you lose a life. If 7 or more creatures died this turn instead, you draw 7 cards and you lose 7 life. Seems good. I mean, play this after a sweeper and reload your hand. All right. Venom Crawler. 3 and a black for a 2/2 demon with lifelink. It's also an artifact creature demon with lifelink. Devourer of Souls. Whenever another creature dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Venom Crawler. It's fine. Nothing spectacular. Aspiring Champion. 3 and a red for a 3/3 Astartes Warrior with Menace and Ruinous Ascension. When it deals combat damage to a player, sack it. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle the rest into your library. If that creature is a demon, it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. Yeah, this seems fine. Bloodthirster. Oh, goodness. This is grotesque. 5 and a red for a 6/6 demon with flying and trample. When Bloodthirster deals combat damage to a player, untap it. After this combat phase, there's an additional combat phase. Bloodthirster can't attack a player it has already attacked this turn. So if your opponents don't have flyers, this can be, or if they don't have flyers that can absorb 6 damage, this can be 18 damage in one turn. That's stout. Dark Apostle. 3 and a red for a 3/3 Astartes Warlock. Gift of Chaos. 3 generic and tap it. The next non-creature spell you cast this turn has Cascade. Okay, well we've seen that in black with a creature spell having Cascade, so it makes sense. Keeper of Secrets. 5 and a red for a 6/4 demon with first strike and haste, and Symphony of Pain. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, Keeper of Secrets deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to target opponent. This goes in Prosper. If I don't keep this deck together, this goes in Prosper, because I cast a ton of stuff from exile, and this is just a redundant effect for the Passionate Archaeologist background that's in that deck. Karn the Betrayer. 3 and a red for a 5/1 legendary Astartes Berserker. It has Berserker. Karn attacks or blocks each combat if able. It also has Sigil of Corruption. When you lose control of it, draw 2 cards. And then it has the Betrayer. If damage would be dealt to it, prevent that damage, and an opponent of your choice gains control of it. Huh. All right. I can get behind this. This seems fun. Night Rampager. 4 and a red for a 6/5 artifact knight with trample and frenzied rampage. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose an opponent at random. Night Rampager attacks that player this combat if able. When Night Rampager dies, it deals 4 damage to target opponent chosen at random. It's another red Chaos card. Said so right there on the box. Chaos. Ha! Let the galaxy burn. I agree most days. X 5 red for a sorcery with Cascade. Let the Galaxy Burn deals X plus 2 damage to each creature that didn't enter the battlefield this turn. Okay. Do I need to say anything more? This all just kind of makes sense, right? Blood for the Blood God! Exclamation point. Okay, this is a gross mana value. 8 black, black, red for an instant. This spell costs 1 generic less to cast for each creature that died this turn. Discard your hand, then draw 8 cards. Blood for the Blood God deals 8 damage to each opponent, and then you exile it. This feels like a great follow-up to a Blasphemous Act. Because by the time you're wanting to cast those 2, Blasphemous Act probably costs you 1 red. So then, for 2 red and 2 black, you get to deal 13 damage to each creature, discard your hand, and draw 8 cards. This feels like it would be fantastic in Nekusar, where you're making people draw extra stuff, and this card's good. There's a reason it's expensive. Chaos Defiler. 3 black red for a 5/4 artifact demon construct with trample and battle cannon. When it enters the battlefield or dies, for each opponent, choose a non-land permanent that player controls. Destroy 1 of them chosen at random. So I guess when this enters the battlefield, you pick 1 permanent for each opponent and then choose 1 of those 2 or 3 at random and destroy it. Okay. I like it. Chaos Mutation. 3 blue-red. For an instant, exile any number of target creatures controlled by different players. For each creature exiled this way, its controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a creature card, puts that card onto the battlefield, then puts the... Okay, it chaos warps a shit ton of things. Okay, it chaos warps up to 4 things. So you can exile one of yours and one of each of your opponents, and hopefully you've managed to stack your deck so that you know something awesome's on the top of your deck, and hopefully your opponents don't get a better creature than the one you got rid of. Draknayan. I don't have any idea what kind of accent Warhammers use. 4 black-red for a legendary artifact.
West London, England, 4.3 miles southwest of Charing Cross. It is the
Alexa, stop. I don't have any idea why Alexa just started talking about some shit in West London. She's on the good drugs. Anyway, this legendary artifact equipment has Echo of the First Murder. When it enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target creature. Then it has Daemon's Sword. Equipped creature has Menace and gets +X/+O, where X is the exiled card's power, and it equips for 2. This seems pretty good. Exalted Flamer of Zinch. Zinch? That's what we're going with anyway. 2 blue-red for a 2/4 demon with Sorcerous Inspiration. At the beginning of your upkeep, return an instant or sorcery card at random from your graveyard to your hand. It also has Fire of Zinch. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. All right. That seems cool. Hellbrute. 3 black-red for a 5/4 artifact creature, Astartes Dreadnought. With haste and Sarcophagus. You may cast Hellbrute from your graveyard by exiling another creature card from your graveyard in addition to paying its other costs. Sure. I like the assonance of this card title. The Horus Heresy. 3 blue, black, red for an enchantment saga. Chapter 1. For each opponent, gain control of up to 1 target non-legendary creature that player controls for as long as it's on the battlefield. Okay. Chapter 2. Draw a card for each creature you control but don't own. All right. Chapter 3. Starting with you, each player chooses a creature. Destroy each creature chosen this way. Huh. That bottom bit feels pretty underwhelming because you're going to get to choose the best creature your opponents control, but then they're going to get to choose potentially your creature, and all the stuff you stole goes back to them when this leaves. That ending, I don't know. There's got to be a way to break it. Kill, maim, burn. Otherwise, a solid Saturday night. 3 black-red for an instant. Choose 1 or more. Destroy target artifact, destroy target creature, or this card deals 3 damage to target player. Yeah, all right. That's a perfectly reasonable rate to pile all of that on 1 card. Lucius the Eternal. 3 black-red for a 5/3 legendary Astartes warrior with haste and armor of shrieking souls. When this guy dies, exile it and choose target creature an opponent controls. When that creature leaves the battlefield, return Lucius the Eternal from exile to the battlefield under its owner's control. Okay. Again, you pile this onto something if this guy dies, you point it at something that your opponent's going to want to die, or something you know that you can get rid of easily, and then you get your dude back. All right, that's fine. Magnus the Red. That looks like a giant tiefling. Or it looks like the dude from Legend. 3 blue-red for a 4/5 legendary demon Primarch with flying and unearthly power. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 generic less for each creature token you control. And then Blade of Magnus. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, create a 3/3 red spawn creature token. It's fine. I don't love it. I mean, it's nothing extraordinary. It was a fine creature. Mutalith Vortex Beast. Jesus, it's a great name. Great art, too. That thing's disgusting. 4 blue-red for a 6/6 mutant beast with trample and Warp Vortex. When it enters the battlefield, flip a coin for each opponent you have. For each flip you win, draw a card. For each flip you lose, its guy deals 3 damage to that player. Now this is great. Love this. Pink Horror. Flavor fail alert. Flavor fail. Why is this a flavor fail, children? Because for 3 blue-red, you get a pink horror. Red and blue make purple, dork. So 3 blue-red should get a purple horror. I don't know shit about Warhammer. I don't even know if there is a purple horror in the game. But I don't care. This should be purple. It's a 4/4 demon horror with coruscating flames. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, this guy deals 2 damage to any target. All right, fine. It's a gutter snipe. But it has split. When it dies, you make 2/2 blue and red demon horror creature tokens named Blue Horror with whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it deals 1 damage. Again, flavor fail. Should have made them 1 red one named Red Horror and 1 blue one named Blue Horror. Come on, guys. You're smarter than that. Or, you know, if you really wanted to be silly, make a blue one named Red Horror and then make a red one named Blue Horror. Yeah. Card's good. Card's fantastic. Flavor sucks. The Ruinous Powers. 2 black-red for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose an opponent at random. Exile the top card of that player's library. Until end of turn, you may play that card, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast it. When you cast a spell this way, its owner loses life equal to its mana value. I really, really, really want to play this in Prosper. This seems great. This actually seems better, almost seems better than Stolen Strategy, because it's 1 cheaper, and although it doesn't hit all opponents at once, it does ping the one it hits. So Sanagor Shaman. 2 blue-red for a 3/3 mutant shaman with flying and sorceress elixir. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, copy the next instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn. When you cast it, you may choose new targets for the copy. Yeah, that seems dope. Also, I kind of love that he's on some kind of high-tech magic frisbee. Past in Flames. Needed reprint. All your instants of sorceries have flashback until end of turn. Decree of Pain. Apparently this needed a reprint too, because I think this has gotten kind of expensive. Blow up a bunch of shit. Or cycle it and shrink a bunch of shit. Hey look, remember that Blasphemous Act I was talking about? Here we go, another reprint of Blasphemous Act. So glad I decided to stock up on Blasphemous Acts 2 years ago, when it hadn't been reprinted in a while. But anyway. Chaos Warp. They are determined to make this card cost $0.25. Hell, this card may already cost $0.25 for all I know. Whatever, it's a red staple. It's a great removal card. Reverberate, copy stuff, it's fine. Warstorm Surge. This is really good in this deck because all its stuff is big. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. Chromatic Lantern. Much better add in a 3-color deck than something like, say, Dark Ritual. Exotic Orchard. This is fine for a reprint, but guys, why not just do Forbidden Orchard? This adds 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. Forbidden Orchard just makes 1 mana of any color, and you just reprinted that in Double Masters 2, so it's not like you've got anything to lose by reprinting it again, as you've shown plenty of inclination to reprint cards into Oblivion. Foreboding Ruin, another reveal land. Sunken Hollow, yeah, it's fine. Forgotten Caves, Cycling, Path of Ancestry, fine. Swiftwater Cliffs, garbage. Terramorphic Expanse, fine. And then I think we're into basics. Are we into basics then? Is there only one art? There's only one art on the mountains. And one art on the swamps. And one art. Ooh, that's really nice. That's pretty. I wish they would just do full art for everything. And then here's your thick boy Abaddon and your Plague Bearer of Nurgle tokens, which are also Astartes Warrior tokens. And here's your Spawn token. This looks nothing like Spawn. This doesn't even look like the Spawn guy with his hamburger face. I know, it's not supposed to be that Spawn, but come on. Comedy writer. I'm beating a joke into oblivion. And now you've got Blue Horror, which still hate. All right, so that is the, what's this called? Balls, they stopped putting the name on it. Cat, do not knock over the damn trash can. Jesus. So that is the Ruinous Powers Warhammer 40k Commander deck. I think this is, out of the box, a much stronger deck than the Mono Black. Also, there are more cards in this than I want to put into other decks. But I really kind of want to... I'm not sure if I want to beef this up, and I think I want to play at least one game with this out of the box, just as is, and see how it goes. There's so many crappy basics in here, but I'll suffer through and play at least one. And then I'll upgrade it and see what I can do to make it stronger, and that may also then free up some of these cards that I want to put in other things to go away. But I do think that I think this guy in Volo would be hilarious because of Cascade, because Cascade is fun. The other demon might be better, this guy, Lord of Change, but 7 is so tough. Ward 3, though, it's going to be hard to get rid of without a sweeper. And by the time I'm casting 7 drops, usually people have already used a sweeper at least once. So that guy might go into Volo. But anyway, that's what I got. If I can pick up the other 2, you'll see more out of this set. And if not, maybe we'll go over some Unfinity stuff. Till next time, peace. That jingling is a cat. Every weird noise, it's always a cat. What are you doing now, baby? Oh, that's Gandalf. He's probably telling you. Parenting, man. It's rough. Anyway, peace.